Hello dear users, my name is Artem and today I will show you how to install and use Network Administrator software, which is Internet Cafe and Cyber Cafe Management software. In this video I'm going to show you how to install the client version of the software. In our previous video I have already shown you how to install the server software, so if you are watching this video for the first time, you maybe want to watch the first part of this tutorial. So I have already opened Network Administrator website, which is en.netadmin-online.com. Here we're going to download. If you already did so in the previous steps, you may use the same installer. So because NetAdmin software uses the same installer both for the server version of the software and for the client version of the software. I want to mention also that Network Administrator software should both be installed on the server computer as well as on the client computer. So on all the client computers you should install Network Administrator client software. While it is downloading, I can tell you that software runs okay both on the different version of Windows, which are Windows XP, both 32-bit and 64-bit, as well as Windows Vista and Windows 7 and even Windows 8 are the platforms on which Network Administrator, both the client and the server, could be installed. Of course, you can use server versions of Windows like Windows 2003 or Windows 2008 with no problem. They are also supported. So the download is completed, and let us open and launch the installer application, which is called NA-Stop. This is easy procedure. You may wish to select English language for an installer. After we accept the license agreement, we should check NetShell client on the client computer and uncheck NetAdmin server on the server computer. The next step would be installing the location. I recommend that you install either in the program files folder or in the root folder. It doesn't matter. After the installation is completed, we can go and configure our client newly installed client software. So now it is run, and let us minimize other windows so it won't do the mess on the screen. In this video I will tell you in brief what are the main setup. So this will be mainly quick setup, quick installation. We are not going to mention all the features, all the different settings of NetShell, because there are many settings, many features. We're just going to cover in this video the basic settings of the software. So the first tab is passwords tab. This is mainly the password tab, the passwords which are the client software uses to verify your authorization, to verify whether you are allowed to change something or to unlock the PC. So this is basically the three types of passwords in the software. The first password is password for administration. This is basically the password to access administration menu in the client. I will show you later. The password for setup is the password which is going to be asked when you launch a shell setup program. You see the link here. So it is basically the password for this program. Login for unlocking and password for unlocking are credentials for unlocking the PC when there is no connection with the server. So this is so-called administrative mode, which is used to do some maintenance while you have no connection to the server. This will going to help us now. So for the first time you should not set these passwords. They are left blank by default. If you are going to set them, you may type them in here, and as well as confirmation, and you should remember these passwords, because when you forget, for example, password for shell setup, you will not be able to access this program and change them back. So let us not change them for the first time. The next configuration tab is network tab, which is basically the configuration, shows us what is the number of this PC. As you see here I have already set up the number of PC is number 3, but you may change it from the 1 to any number of the PC you have in the network. So every PC in network administrator network should have its own number. There should not be two PCs with the same number. So every PC should have this separate number, and you have to set up it in this NetShell setup configuration window. Also here we have automatically scan local network for server, which is going to find the server automatically, or if it doesn't work in some networks, it doesn't work, you may search for network servers. You see here it have already found the server, and you can type in or select network server, or for example, if it doesn't display here in this list, you may want to specify IP address or DNS name of the server. So let us choose to automatically scan local network for servers. This is basically main configuration you want to use, which is quite simple. Just set up the PC number in this field. So the next tab which we are going to cover in this video is the Outrun tab. The main idea of the shell is that it replaces the default view, default desktop of every user in the which is going to use our PC, so the user won't damage anything and won't do some changes unnecessary. So basically, network shell just replaces entire desktop of the user with a fully controlled one, with which is fully controlled from the server. You can on the server you can view what settings what user runs, user programs, and permissions for the user. So this is easily achievable with desktop replacement or shell replacement, which way of Outrun does network shell use. So there are several setup for the settings. So first of all, it is an option to set network shell as a shell for all users, which is just basically install network shell for all user accounts in the system. If you have several user accounts, it will install network shell as a desktop for every user account. Set network shell as a shell for current user means what it does, it installs network shell just for current user account. Explorer is default shell, which you are seeing here with this basic start menu and system tray and this taskbar. We can restore Explorer either for all user accounts or just for current user. If you missed something, you can use this restore options. And there is option delete individual shell for current user, which means just to fallback option and to use the settings for all users. So basically, for you to illustrate these two settings, it is shown here: use all user settings and current user settings. We are going to install network shell for all users, so it won't mess something. Basically, if you're seeing some errors that, for example, you start network shell and also the main desktop is starting, so that two desktops, you may want to just to set up network shell as a shell for all users, and you are done. So let us set network shell as a shell for all users and press OK. So basically it just changed the settings. Now in order to activate network shell, we are going to either restart the client PC or to log off and log on. So now we are logging off, and let us log on again. So this is the network shell basic block desktop. So as you can see, the time is, it says your time is up. You have to pay to continue your work, otherwise enter your login password. So you have two options: either to for example, pay administrator, and he will add some time to this client PC, or to enter a login and password and to use the user account. As for user account, we will discuss later, so now just let us enter default administrative login and password. As you remember, the default login is admin and the default password is blank. Press OK, and we are now at the work area or the work desktop of the user. So here we have a basic start menu, a taskbar, and a system tray with different notifications and the time. It is basically just a simplistic user interface. It is because it doesn't have many features by default, but the user cannot do anything bad to run the programs that he's not allowed. So you have the folder games here, which is by default the folder with which is installed by default on the network shell. So this is the basic installation procedure of Network Administrator. I will also show you how to add programs here. So here we have basic programs, which are default Windows programs. You see that it runs okay, so you can run them. And what if I want to add some games here actually, or some programs here? What if I want to add some programs in here? So first of all, let us go to Start menu. Here we have several options, either the folder with the games. It is the same applications which are shown in this folder. And the settings, here we have Call Administrator, which displays message administrator PC. And resolution setup, you know, some games messing the resolution, so user can just click resolution setup and it restores resolution. Here we have also block, which means block administrative mode, and we are going to return to the blocking screen, shut down and restart. So let us show how to add shortcuts in network shell, add programs, links to programs. For example, I want to add some internet browser in here, so our users, our clients can browse internet and have access to the internet. So I want to add some browser in here. So let us go to administrator menu. Here we have enter password prompt, which is shown to us, and we can either type in the password which we have already set up in the settings, or if you didn't change the password, you can just press OK, and this will bring us the admin tab, which is basically the main settings of the network shell, main options. So let us choose a shortcut setup. The other settings are quite self-explanatory, and we will not stop on them this time, but if you need to access, for example, shell setup, you just press shell setup, and this is basically the same shell setup program which we have used to configure our NetShell setup. So this is, for example, we have access to control panel, execute options, and log off user and user accounts. Here we can also change password from here, or to access Explorer, or to just to configure our setup. So this is basically link configuration window. So as you can see, it is just basic Explorer window. Let us add some some icons here. As you see here, we have the same icons, the same programs in this folder, which is located in NetAdmin folder, then my comp folder, then games folder. In order to add a program in here, we can do right click on any free place in this folder, then select shortcut, new shortcut, and here we have the window create shortcuts. Type in the location of items. So this is the procedure of creating shortcuts. So we have to select the executable file in here. For example, I want to add Internet Explorer option, Internet Explorer executable. So I just open program files folder, then Internet Explorer folder, and then I open here iExplore executable. Press OK. Here it asks us what name for the shortcut you would like to add, specify the name for the shortcut. Enter Internet Explorer. Press finish, and here it goes. Here we have Internet Explorer link, and also it is displayed in the shell games folder. So when we open games folder, it will basically display Internet Explorer. So this is a basic procedure of how to set up the links. Let us exit administrator mode and go to block mode. This is the block mode, the window which a user sees when he's not authorized, or when he is just sitting at the computer and the time is not paid, so he cannot access anything. I can press Ctrl Alt to delete, and it doesn't bring the desktop, the main desktop. So he can do not anything. Alt tab is not working. Any combinations are not working. This small indicator indicates the connection with the server. So when this indicator is green, the connection with the server is okay. Then with this indicator is red, there is something wrong with the connection, and you should check the connection, or maybe the connection is not established yet. So you just need to wait a little bit, or to check your settings. So I have Network Administrator launched here in the background on different computers, so I will show you it here, but it doesn't run on the same PC as the network shell. It runs on the different PC, so I actually use a virtualization to make this possible, just to indicate you that network administrator is run as we. If you want to view how to configure network administrator, we have already done it in the previous video. So let us just add time to this PC. As you can see here, computer number 3 is displayed as green, and other computers are displayed in red. So these are the computers which are not connected, displayed in red, and connecting computer is displayed in green. So what I want to do is to just to click on the free indicator, and here we have the service. Let us select games service. It will be selected by default if you install English version. Here we have, let us set up for 60 minutes, for example. Press OK, and here we have our session started for 1 hour. So let us return back to our client computer, and here we have it. Here we have the desktop of the client computer, which is unblocked, which the user will see when he pays, when he starts the computer for 1 hour, for example, or for any different time. So here we have our programs, and we can launch any program. So this is the main user interaction. You can launch Internet Explorer, for example, our newly created program, newly created link. So you can launch 2 programs or 3 programs, as much as you wish. This doesn't matter. So on the server PC we have, let us return to the server window. So here we have network administrator, and shows what application was run the last, as well as how much time is left on the client PC. For example, when the times goes away, times finish, I will show you what happens. So for example, the user comes and says, I don't want to play more, I don't want to use the PC more, so please return me the money. Not in every cafe it is possible, but I just to illustrate you how the system works, how it does stop the client session. I just want to press finish session button. Here we have the prompt 0 out time at computer number 3. Press yes, and here it goes. Computer number 3 is locked, and we have basically put login password. For example, if the user want to restore his session, for example, okay, I changed my mind, I want to continue for 60 minutes. Okay, please press OK, and the user session is restored. So this is the basic setup of network administrator client version, client system. If you have some questions, if you have some if you wonder about some settings, some advanced settings, or if you came into trouble, you may want to ask me via comment section of our website, or via email, or via Skype. I am glad to answer your questions. So maybe you have some feature requests, some your vision of network administrator setup, how can be improved. So write me your questions, and hope you like network administrator software. So have a nice day.